You may have heard of our new StarCraft 2 World Champion, the Chinese Terran Oliveira, formerly known as Time. Probably the most likable and largest underdog story in StarCraft 2 history. Now, if you haven't watched the games, you might be suspicious, but he truly earned this championship. He outplayed Reynor, Hero, and Maru. And he actually, just a couple days after winning the championship and going home, went to stream on, I believe it was WardiTV, and then uploaded the Bilibili, which has made its way to YouTube. So what we have here is a transcript of Oliveira's post-game, like post-championship stream. So the transcript, the disclaimer is it's not perfect. I don't speak Chinese, but I do speak StarCraft, and so does Oliveira. So I'm going to do my best to read off the transcript as he goes through the games, as he's watching the video of the finals, and some of the games through to the finals. And maybe you'll see by the end, 1, why you should be rooting for Oliveira, and 2, why he deserves this championship. Because there's a ton of insight here that I think it's super important and interesting for anyone interested in StarCraft. So, I'm going to take the transcript off the screen. I'm just showing you where it's from. The link will be anywhere relevant. Shout out to Yubo56, who went through an hour and a half and did their best here. And also all the commenters who corrected the context of several things throughout. But just the TLDR. It's all really wholesome. He spends a lot of time talking about how he consciously tries to keep himself playing more slowly. That his opponents played closer to 30% of their potential, which is, you know, pretty harsh, actually. He practices with all of them. They probably didn't see him as a major threat for the championship. And he's inspired by a bunch of other big pros, like Rogue, Innovation, and Clem, which feels like the odd man out. Small disclaimer, I'm fluent in Chinese, but grew up in the US, so my Chinese is only somewhat serviceable in online and streaming settings. Sometimes help the girlfriend buy things off Zhan Yu in Chinese. She rates me thoroughly B-stock 3 out of 5 stars. I don't know if that's a joke or a description of whether he speaks, his transcript is good, but I'm just going to keep moving. As such, there may be inaccuracies, and you should give Oliveira the benefit of the doubt. Something rubs you the wrong way. And blame me. And me, by the way. Welcoming corrections. Already there's been some corrections. The summary is, I'm going to do my best to line up what's happening on the video with the transcript, which it shouldn't be too hard because a lot of the time the game will be up. But if it sounds weird or off, it's probably not what Oliveira is saying, but instead lost a bit in translation. So. Let's get started. He starts here. I can analyze for you. Let's just watch the English stream. I'll cover my mentality. Oh, so all the stuff on that's essentially the Chinese equivalent of Twitch chat on the screen. And I didn't think Twitch chat could be any more annoying, but apparently. Also, throughout this stream, he receives somewhere around apparently $300,000 in the equivalent of donations. But he's decided to donate all of those to charity. I'm not, like, he's under no obligation to do that. But he says he wants the $150K he earned, and then the rest. All right. Starting with the first game versus Reynor. During this game, let's see. You guys tell me. Okay, before we go any further, I just want to make sure from my Twitch chat, we look good? That's the best we're gonna get, right? It should be good to go here. Let's see if we can make sure it's all on the screen. Do the awkward bringing stuff up. All right. All right. From here. Starting with the first game versus Reynor. During this game, as for the strategy, there's nothing to analyze. He went double battle cruiser. It's just a gamble. It's like this. In best of 7, if you want to ban a map, you either ban Ancient Cistern or Altitude. On Ancient, I would play mech, proper mech, so I can I can gamble a 2-port battlecruiser on altitude. I thought he would scout, but I didn't think he would go overlord speed. He came in with speed and the game was over. No need to analyze. Skips to game 2. As for the second game, we analyzed the game versus Clem, his ZVT details. Reynor really likes laying run-bys. Lambo and Serral like to do a small push-out at 6 minutes or 66 workers. Generally, the European Zergs and like Ragnarok or Dark go up to 80 drones around 7 minutes, but Reynor likes to make lings off 66 drones, cutting workers briefly. See here, 63 drones, which I assume is a little later on. He starts to make a round of lings. So we decided to play 4 Hellion in the 2-1-1, but I messed up because I misrecord the Hellions. Look at the first person view. I already saw the lings. I thought I could just wall with Marines, then run the Hellions over. So I just shift-clicked my Hellions over and went back to micro. I didn't expect to lose this fight. How could I not hold with 4 Hellions and reinforcements? At the front, I should have won with +1 attack, but I mismicroed and lost in both fronts. The reason I don't want to cut off the lings was because I wanted to let him up the ramp and trap him. Otherwise, he can just run the lings. But with the Marines to bait, he'd run in, and I'd trap it with the 4 Hellions. But I missed micro, and probably missed shift-clicked. At this point, the game is already very hard. But let me tell you, at this point, 8-13, Blue skips full. Game is already very hard. They were really hyping it up, but the Ling run-bys were doing a lot of damage. I'm gonna hold my hand up like this when I'm doing my commentary. It's not his, because I think some of it he's taking pauses and like looking over stuff. It was at this point I thought I had a chance, because when I saw some of Reynor's movement of Lingbane versus Spirit, which apparently is literally translated as rest in peace or something, amusingly, and while we were playing, his Lingbane pressure is not as good as we practiced in the past. All of this movement wasn't as good as usual, so I thought I had a chance. Let me tell you, when Reynor's playing well, when he has these 66 workers and makes the Lingbane push, when he's playing well and he's not nervous, he'll go straight to 80 or 90 workers and play defense. See, if you watch what he's doing here, this should have been winning if he just sat back and droned. But he kept building Lingbane and almost lost. That's how I knew he wasn't composed. As for me, I have no choice but to macro off 3-base. But yeah, the rest of this, there's not a lot to say. Hard game, really hard. I'll just show you the big attack at the end. We can watch the Baneling focus fire part. I thought I had a chance. But if I were slightly smarter, I wouldn't have missed my ground, so. This was a very dramatic game, but only because Reynor did keep going Lingbane. You just walk away. This wasn't in the transcript. Oh. So, from my end, I commented during the 2v2 tournament that Serral, Maru, and Solar all had trophies in top-tier tournaments. There was only one odd man out, a player called Oliveira on Serral's team. Well, looks like he's still in the same apartment with like a little Pikachu back there and a sleeping bag, but... Well, we can watch the Baneling focus fire. I thought here that I had a chance, but if I were slightly smarter, I wouldn't have missed micro. Wow, Reynor's all over the place. I stimmed once too much. I double stimmed. If I didn't stim, my Marines would have had twice as much health. I could have just focus fired and won. Normally, when you watch Terrans and they get hit with a big bane, you can see them react, but you can see I'm perfectly calm. I don't know why my mentality that day was so calm. Normally, I should have panicked, but I was calmly thinking about how to play the next match. I have no idea how I was able to remain so calm. The rest has nothing to watch.
对不对？他表情都会有一点点变化，但是你们看我这里的表情，你看很正常，我很平静。就我也不知道为什么我那天的心态那么稳，就我没有感觉很着急，我就算被毒爆撞了，我那天好像也很平稳。我想的那时候我想的是怎么好好打下一把。真的呀。
I believe that. I believe what we call this is in the zone. Ah, here's a big commentary. At this moment of despair, I thought of that guy. The two-time Intel Extreme Masters champion, Rogue. Go to the restroom. I called a timeout. Can't keep going. I was smiling? How did you know I was smiling? But yeah, I was smiling. He's responding to chat. I was indeed smiling, since I was feeling great, emotionally. I thought of Rogue. See, look at Reynor. He's so pumped and hyper. Yeah, this is why I go to the restroom. Let him be hyper at the screen on his own. Waste his stamina. Look at how hyper he is. He's even brushing his hair, fixing his glasses. And me, I'm in the restroom, washing my hands, telling myself that winning and losing isn't important anymore. Just play the rest of the series well. See, I messed up his momentum. Restroom breaks are the best strat. Honestly, unironically, great strategy. It's a part of the game. Like,
你看，我把他的状态给磨没了，上厕所这招真的好用。
Now this game. Now let me tell you, the restroom break was inspired by Rogue, but this game was inspired by Innovation. Inno told me, play 2 Banshee, no cloak. Inno told me this is a good build. I thought Innovation retired. I mean, I usually go cloak, but not this game. So I had an extra tank and an extra barracks. Let me tell you guys. I don't need to tell you the game state, but just the strat. The plan was a plan I worked out with Lambo. The Cabal. Sorry, my commentary, not his. Over a long time of practice. Look at this map. Why do I have to play Marine Tank here? Look at the map. If I break the middle rocks, he can't break me. Because there are only 2 paths in the middle. I'll kill his break. So what can he play? He will usually base trade, in which case I lift my third. But if I have the middle, then he can only take the 2 side paths for the base trade. So I put the Banshees on the left, and the Hellions on top, and then I can see his counter, and I can push straight down the middle with Marine Tank. See? 57 workers and 8 Rex. This is a strong build. The Octo Rex. See, this worked really well. The 2 Banshees made it so he can't counter. And when I saw the mutas, I knew he had nothing at home. So I went straight for the base trade and rallied at home.
你看效果就是很好，就是我2个女妖一直在这里守着，我不怕绕狗，我甚至他飞龙来了我都没有那么伤。你看你看这里我2个女妖就可以打他狗了，这半路可以上了。我知道他的狗都走了，还是跳飞龙，他家里一定没什么兵，所以我这波你看我这坦克都没有在后边 hold 着，就直接往前架。
The base trade
我觉得这
commenced.
里我打的没什么问题。
See here at 8:29. Thank you to the transcript for providing some timestamps. Reynor actually misplayed. He still has the advantage. After killing everything at my third, instead of going for my workers in my main, he should have just pulled workers to his left base, made another round of Banes, and went, and I'd be dead. but his 1-1 isn't ready,
然后再包，
and his
我这把其
Banes
实
got
就是
trapped by the
他这里
queen,
上
so I
是
took a
因为
really
一个
good
是他地
trade.
攻一方没好，另一个是你看他的
I
毒爆
really
很好
thought Fortune
他毒
was
爆被他是
smiling
一个
on
女王
me.
被卡了，他先把这边狗送了，然后他毒爆被女王卡了，然后
These
才过来
mistakes
射
are
门
mistakes
然后
that
我坦克把他 save
these
了
top level
我真的
players
是
never
感觉
make,
老天都在帮我
but they made them
有
against
就
me.
是
It's really weird.
他就这
It's
是一些他
unusual for
们平
them.
时这些
I
底
didn't
线上
really
不
do
会犯的
anything
错误
special
然后
this game, just a bit
跟
of
我打
light
的时候
harass
就
left and right, and
犯
that
了
tank
就
pushed
真
down the
的
middle.
挺离谱的，说实话，真的挺离谱的。
I feel like he never planned any of this. Did you not hear the parts where at length he spoke with
就
multiple
这里
pro
我期间
players
没怎
from
么看
different
我就左拉一下
regions
右拉一下然后
and
坦克射
practiced with them for sometimes dozens of hours? You think
然
you
后这
think
张
the
图
those
你们知道
players
吗
are
我
just
大概
like
率知道他要
think
走
he's
到哪
lying about that when they could
所以我
easily
这张
say
图没
no
有
he
选择
didn't?
811我也不知道那天脑子怎么思路那么清晰，因为我之前其实跟雷诺练习过，
Now on
他
map
有一个
4,
体系就是
okay,
这个体
back
系
to the transcript.
4分钟嘛
Now
看
on
是不是
map
4分
4,
钟
wow, the
让他
chat's
跑
getting insane.
这就是细节，这就是智力。他4
Back
分
to
钟
the
上
train.
浪潮这个体系是这
On
样的
map
我告诉
4,
你
I knew it was very likely for him to pull out roaches, so I didn't go
蓄
811,
雷
the
他就
Octo
一攻一防
Rex.
到2攻2防蟑螂
I don't know why my
他如
brain
果
was
看
so
到你
clear
有
that
2个
day
体系
either.
他就跳蟑螂狗毒爆飞出来
Because I practiced with
这个体系
Reynor in
很
the
厉害
past. I know he has a build. 4-minute Roach Warren. Reynor puts down Roach Warren. You see?
我跟他练的时候
That's
然后就
detail.
3到
That's
4个蟑螂
intelligence.
左边2个右边2个然后配合女王
I
去
think he
防然后
means
他能力
like,
特别好你们看到
I know that because I practice with him, not like I'm a big brain player, but
你看差不多
here's how his 4-minute Roach Warren build works. Let me explain. When he sees Terrans playing mines, he builds roaches all the way with 1-1 and 2-2 and so
我这
on.
把就选择了这个
If he
这
sees
种
tanks, he
就是两
goes
个
Roachling, Bane,
这
Viper.
个是打
This is a really strong build.
我这把多
It's
线直接
really
打得很
strong.
好
When I practice with him, and he just builds 3-4 roaches, 2 on the left, 2 on the right, defending together with his queens, and he gets a very good eco. See, look at his workers. 64 drones at 5:30 and still droning. At 6 minutes, it can go to 70 or 80. At 6:30, it's 70-80. And he sees that I'm building. It's good. I'm not playing 8-1-1. If I played 3 base push, I would have lost for sure. This game, I went for double factory. See, I have double factory open.
我占了挺大优势的。我解放者
Against this build, it's the best response. To be honest, my multi-prong in this game was quite good. I have the advantage here at about a 7:30, so carrying through to now. Look at his worker count, 90 drones. This build of his is just really strong. And what he does if he sees tanks, he just plays like this. Third base super fast, great eco, 90 drones, still has 1-1 on top. And here I actually I made a mistake in analyzing the situation. I'll tell you why. In the early game, I had a pretty big lead. My libs were killing his workers in his main, and my marines are fighting his drones at the front. My Hellions dove on his mineral line. I thought I've killed at least 10 workers, but in reality, I didn't actually kill that many. Usually, when you see Roachling Bane, you don't push him, you just straight up turtle, because you can't push that on the count. Vipers are way too fast, and there's already roaches. I thought early on I got so much damage. Mainly I cleared creep here. I cleared his 2 tumors here, so I thought even if I don't have to kill you, I can just do a light push and take your outer base. But I didn't expect his army to be here. I believe we're about 9 minutes in. I thought his army would be to the east. That way, even if I siege my tanks, I can fight slowly. I thought his army would be here. That way, even after I siege my tanks, I can fight slowly. This was a bad mistake on my part. Thanks, and then to chat. Thanks, guys. Really, stop donating. Really stop. Thank you, but really stop. This is this is spectator view. You know, from my first person, I couldn't see. But honestly here, the game state is still so good, really good. I have everything. See, his +1 attack is so slow. But his build just makes him so rich. The biggest thing is, think about it, he already has 3 Vipers. To be honest, I don't even know how I managed to siege my tanks like this. I never siege my tanks like this in practice. but it felt like I just had a flash of inspiration in game. See, he couldn't blinding cloud any of those tanks. He only got 2 of them. I don't even know how I managed. Look at the tanks. It's like I'm hacking. Every blinding cloud only hit a single tank. I don't know why. The details of my push were so good. I never have details down this well. He actually blazed past. Apparently he's about to skip past the next leg. 20 minutes of this and like, well, he played. He plays a really long macro game, but I think he's ahead the whole game, to be honest. Is apparently also what he feels like by skipping past the rest. He's better at doing concise. Then again, pro players are very good at like pointing out when things are different than they expect because they play so many games.
就是这种3VF， 然后像这种我开了一片框的体系，然后这个另一个东西也是我们总结的地方，就是像你们看这张图，为什么说人族打到这种
I'm not sure. Okay, I need to pause for a sec because I need to read the transcript real quick because I'm not sure if the next commentary is for this game or for the next one because he might just be referencing. I'm trying my best to kind of keep. There's some timestamps, but they're not perfect. Okay.
这边不需要去进攻，你随便踩你的矿，我只需要把我这里边这边矿开起来，然后一直打这边矿，就相当于一人半张地图。但是人族的优势是什么？我的建筑在这里，你就算冲我，我可以慢慢把防空后边放那种坦克的就是纵深线。你没有你虫族，只要你们的实力差距不是特别大。 并且操作没有失误的情况下，虫族怎么冲他怎么亏。这个就是鸟哥的理解是对的，我们的我觉得人族稍微水平高一点的。
I'm just gonna verify it. Yeah, he spends a few more minutes on the game. I do think we're missing some of the translation for this.
这理解都是对的，这张。
Though a great game.
就是占一半。但是这里说实话。 我想到，你们看我这个细节真的他妈跟开了挂一样。我想到他可能虫洞或者空投房子了，然后我防空。
So the rest of this game will be my commentary. I think we're missing about a paragraph because there's a direct reference to what happens after the game as the next paragraph on it.
破我猥琐了，我就想到这步了，但是我还是慢了点。
I can show you guys.
谢谢，恭喜我。 周传雄从不求人呢，我好兄弟。
I'm doing my best to. As a so the last thing he talks about here, and then he trash talks Hearthstone, which happens after this game when Hearthstone comes up, and then he starts talking about the next game after that. So that's how I know there's probably like a gap here.
我告诉你们，这个时候其实前期已经没有那么重要了。他如果不把我这里的防线冲开，他这里前科技就是堆，你们懂什么叫堆
？I really wish. So this is some deep strategy. This is super late game TVZ, where he's maintained map control the whole time. Reynor, like, Zergs have been trying this. Dark also tried this against Oliveira, was the late game Ling drops, or, well, Dark tried Lurker drops, but it kind of feels like it's not even worth it at that stage, because, like, as a Zerg, you're just not getting that much done. So, and by the way Oliveira felt, it seemed like he was confident he could defend that and still hold the front, so. It did feel, this is completely, I've watched some of his games before, and like he's been saying, it felt like a different player, and also his opponents obviously were having a tough time. He's already talked about it. Like, Reynor was not playing at 100%. He said, like, Oliveira's comment of, he felt like he was at 70%, his opponents were at 30, which is probably exaggerating a bit, but tells you how much pressure that players are under on, like, literally the most important day of the year.
买书也好呀，还是买衣服也好呀，还是干嘛？我这些1分钱不。
Does that say?
这个你们放心啊。
Is that the viewer count in the bottom left?
我会全部捐了，好吧？
1,800,000 and wait no.
这个会给。
I don't know what that is.
如果我们真的有这个计划
Talk about donation, please, guys.
想以自己的名义，比如你买了这个东西，你
That's the chat room ID. I know there were a lot,
可以，我
and
们到时候看能不能跟法人商量一下，你发给淘宝客服，
his
然后
stream
我们
ID.
尽力把你们的名字写上去，好吧？也是感谢大家了，好吧？不，我感觉这次不仅是圆了我自己的一个梦吧，也不算圆梦，我感觉我现在还活在梦里。每天睡醒之前给自己2巴掌。
I would love to know, like, this is probably the most deep strategy part. How you actually know when to take new bases in the late game and when to give them up. Because that's the hardest part of this stage of TVZ. Players like, well, Oliveira and Byun and Maru can occasionally make it look like it's untouchable. And Terrans cannot be hit.
他打得很着急，他这里军坦一直没补上，没补上的情况下，他还不补飞蛇，就一直在这里狗和牛傻莽。一般这里稍微聪明点，他不会那么莽的，怎么每波都会等2到3个飞车去误坦克的，但是他一直没等。
Those lane drops really did not. By like the 3rd time, Reynor sends in like 30 lings to the main. It feels like Reynor kind of ran out of ideas at this stage.
第4也不行，兄弟，第4更冲不动了。我告诉你们，这个时候怎么才能赢？要么你就是用飞车。
Reynor really doesn't like the kind of sit back.
把所有棋都开了。
This is me, by the way. This is my commentary. Until the next game, I won't be reading. I know people offer to live translate, but I'm just gonna go off the transcript. I'm gonna try to stick to that. Otherwise, it's gonna get out of hand.
我告诉你们这件事情，就是我跟Serral打这张图，我打了38分钟，我把他赢了。当时打后期。因为我知道这个局面怎么打。
Yeah, who knows how much that rocket ship is? But that looks very fancy. Now, I know most of that's chat, but I can read some of it. I understand some of it. What? Serral? Serral who? That's my translation. There's a lot of Serral commentary. He said he beat Serral on this map after 38 minutes. Wow.
我那个时候一直告诉你们，看我这个时候其实挺穷的，我这边关还一直没开起来，然后雷诺把这里开了，我当时如果换我平时我肯定很急，但我当时的状态，我想我还是能赢，我只要不着急，慢慢打。也不是心态，我只能告诉你们。
This was mostly just. I think Reynor was so tough. The tactical bathroom break,
比如
though.
20分钟的时候，重组可能大概还有多少钱？你们还记得我之前跟你们说过，我说这张图如果打猥琐的话，大概结束在30分钟。
I think time did. Oliveira. Oh my God. You know, it doesn't help. I saw he signed, like, he autographed some people's stuff as time. So that just makes it more confusing. Like he was signing people's signing autographs as time. Ooh. All right, we're back to it. Yeah, give him the fist bumps. The fist pumps. There you go.
所以我的意思就打到后面，我们其实不用着急的打到30分钟，他肯定前开。
All right. Possibly the moment we did this entire thing for. Here, I'm going to tell you guys about my confidence. When I saw Harstem come up, we're back to the transcript. When I saw Harstem come up, I knew that I won. Come on, if you brought Serral, then whatever. But you're bringing in a Toss Pro to coach your Zerg? I knew I won. Even if Harstem comes up, he can't say anything but, you suck! Edited per comments. This is definitely a joke. He's just memeing about Harstem's Imbo or Do I Suck series and the fact that Harstem is 1500 MMR below Reynor and Zerg. And it's not even a ZVP. But and then back to his commentary. I have no idea what they're saying, but I also don't know why Harstem, who's a Protoss. My commentary is I think Harstem is probably has the best mentality and is probably friends with Reynor and can help him out with that. But it is fun. At times, oh my God, Oliveira's having fun with it. I can tell you what I'm telling myself. Stay calm. In the past, I would never talk to myself, but now I always tell myself, apparently out loud, stay calm, you can win, stay calm, you can win. If you keep a calm mentality, it's really very important. And then talking to chat, Yeah, like you said, you have to
主要反而
CPU
你知道吗，在这
yourself,
种
which I
我这
assume
次我告诉你们为什么
is
其实我
loosely
还是
translated
还
like
是那
turn
个为什
yourself
么
into a
能力
computer,
还有雷诺还有马路这些，其
which
实我告诉你们，
would
如果
make
他
the
们
most
发挥
sense
正
and
常的
also is the
话，
most amusing, so I'm going with that.
就基本上我觉得我是以一个70%我
Let me tell you why I can beat Hero and Reynor and Maru, because if they played at their normal levels, there's no way I can win.
我打雷诺
But I played with my 70% form
我赢了他们一把
against
之后，
their
我就
30%
感觉
form.
他们的技术变形了。
For some reason, I don't know why, but when I played
就根本
against
不是
Reynor
他
and
们
Hero
平
and
时自己
Maru,
的那种，
I
因为
could
我平
feel
时跟
that
他
after
们
I
练习，
took the
我知道
first
他们
map
什么
against
水平，
them, they started to play
我就感觉
different.
我赢了一把之后，他们
Nothing
技
like
术
their
变形
normal
得特
play.
别厉害。
Since I
我
practice
就感觉
against
反而
them,
他
I
们
know
的心态
their
出的特
normal
别大的问题，
ability.
就不可能平时他不可能那个局面输，或者不可能出的失误，
But after I took the
然后
first map, they changed so
就是
much.
各种致命的犯，
The quality of their
有点
play.
不能理解。
Yeah, it was like they had a big mentality problem. Like they were in situations that they'd never normally lose or could never make mistakes. But this time, many game-losing mistakes happen. It's really incomprehensible. At the time, I really had that mentality of, it's whatever. I didn't really care for winning anymore, or even advancing. I just wanted to play an extra game or so on stage. But then by the end, I had already implicitly known that I'd won.
我也不知道为啥，
Like when I played Maru,
哎，有时候真的很奇妙。
when I beat
真的
Reynor,
很奇妙
I kind of felt like I could win today. But I really don't know why. It's just really miraculous. I can't explain it. Let me just tell you, now that we're just chatting, it's unbelievable that it happened yesterday. I'm still in shock.
很，我现在还是很迷茫，
And,
我都不知道我到底现在是不是，就我拿了冠军之后，我现在很迷茫。
and all right, next timestamp's 5 minutes. But that is the most literal description of in the zone I've ever
而且我
heard.
给你们看这把也是，这把雷诺失误太多了。我给你，因为你们是
In this
看
game, Reynor made so many mistakes. Here, 5 minutes and 7 seconds. He already made mistakes with his queen positioning. Look, the Overlord is all the way out here. His queens are so far back.
或者一般会停在这里。
Let me tell you how to position here normally. You pull the Overlords back a little bit,
把这个房子
and you split your queens 3 and 3. As soon as the Overlord sees the Hellions coming, your queens are there to protect the
然后这
creep.
里3，
But he has no protection for his creep. Let me tell you, when I was practicing with Serral, I practiced against the 3-3 queen split. He had it completely locked down. I was so frustrated. Against Serral, I practiced for 3 days and went 0 and 20. Didn't win a single map right before heading out. I was thinking, screw it. I was completely demoralized. Dude, I was so close to completely broken.
我告诉你们，我真的当时就已经快在崩溃的边缘了。就是我每天，我告诉你们，我的
You know my daily schedule. I eat, work out, come home, and practice. Every day I would practice and lose. I'm not kidding. I would just lose. Basically, every day was a losing record. And every day at the end, I would just scroll through TikTok and stuff and tell myself, man, you really worked hard today. But at the same time, I told myself, even if you lose, you still have to play. If you don't want to feel like you did at Atlanta, where he went 0 and 6. If you don't want to feel like that, then you just have to play. You'll feel like that in your head, but you just gotta play on. The other thing is that for sports and esports, there's something that the marathoner Kip Choge said. You guys definitely know him. I don't. He said a classic phrase: if you don't accept the pain of practice, then you cannot claim the joy of victory. I really agree with this. It's perfect and a huge impact on me. These are words to live by in all kinds of sports and esports. So, this game. Let me tell you guys why I got cloaked this game. I felt like I could just play normally and be fine. I can just play 8 Hellion, 2 Banshee and play standard. I'll definitely be fine. And he did make a lot of mistakes. See here. Look at 630. Moment on.
这句话真的太对了，我觉得适应于任何的竞技体，不管是电子竞技体也好，还是
I do appreciate the occasional timestamps to tell me that I'm way ahead. Because I'm just reading, whereas he's talking at a normal, like, natural pace.
我当时的心态就是我这把正常打没问题。 我当时就是这个心态，我就跟他8女妖，我就跟他8火车2女妖拼。我想着我正常那肯定没问题，结果你看他的失误其实挺多的，你看他现在的前和气，你看多久没动过了？
See here, look at 630. Look at his money. His minerals and gas haven't moved in so long. Not only has he not yet started 1-1, he completely forgot Bane speed. He completely forgot. A world-class Zerg forgetting Bane speed. This happens way too often, by the way, my commentary. You can see the pressure he was under. He completely wasn't playing like himself. Even look at his bank compared to his usual macro. And let me tell you another detail. Something Clem told me. Clem told me a lot. The two of us watched so many VODs and replay. We had already finished playing, then we continue practice and chatting. Let me show you a small detail what Clem and I chatted about. If, in the early game, you feel like you did well with your Hellion Banshee, you can bring a tank with your first push, like I did. Only one. The other one you place not at your third, but at the depot, at your nat. This is what Clem and I figured out by watching each other's replays. See, look at his counter-attacking squad of Lynx. Up there, going towards my base. Watch the mini-map. That was a few seconds ago. See, look at these Lynx. See my mouse here in his nat? I have a tank here. This tank position was one we decided on after a lot of analysis. It's a really good position. The analysis of tank position. Normally you put a tank at your third to stop the Bane run-bys there. And a tank on the high ground at the nat to stop Bane run-bys at the fourth. You have to have a tank there because it covers the entire natural choke. And a second tank would cover the third. I don't need a second tank because everything is at the front and the push is at the bottom. This is because I've already cleared the attacks on the bottom, so I don't need a tank to cover the bottom attack threat. The only place he can run by is from the top or the middle. But my tank at home covers both these attacks. We use this tank a lot in practice. It works on every map. It's a really good tank position. And here I actually think I improved my play a lot. With my old play, I would have easily put the Hellbats forward on the front ledge and nothing defending the tank in the back. Is he trying to show his selection? Oh my god, he's showing the edge of a tank. So, all that commentary is now being explained. I probably skipped a little past, but now you guys know what to look for. The tank!
这样的话，我这个坦克是可以带走的，因为我已经把左边的威胁清掉了。那他能从哪里绕狗？只能从中间或者上面绕狗。
So that tank positioning, that defense, he's defending, there is no other ground path but the center, is what he's exploiting. Since he's already attacking on the left flank, he's able to narrow down the Zerglings to just the center, so you don't need to worry about having multiple tanks. This is him leaving his units back to protect his tanks, the Hellbats. For the strategy stuff, I don't mind if I read a little forward, because now we know what to look for, right? For the commentary, I'm trying not to. Write that down. Well, somebody did write it down. This is actually super great tips. Here we are. Honestly, here at 847, I misplayed. Too hasty. I wanted to win, you know? I felt the win. I wanted to win. So my mentality broke a bit. I should have taken the base at the bottom with just some Marines, or even with just the 2 Banshees. I played so smart and set it up, but I didn't get the base. I was in such a hurry. I wanted to win at this point. And here I started to make mistakes. I'm floating money and my supply is going down. It's not great. But here, look, when I retreat, I slow the game down. Here I played super smart. I remember thinking, I actually absolutely have to save these tanks at 953. If I lost these tanks, then I'm dead. And here I was thinking, just play slow.
我就肯定被反。
We can still win. You absolutely must not panic.
我慢慢打还能赢，千万别着急。所以你看我坦克。
So I started spreading out the army
后边的一
to prepare for a bigger push. If this were the normal me, I'm telling
因
you,
为这按我
I would have gone completely all in here.
按我平时我肯定在，就在这里架着了。但是我当时我在这里的时候，我告诉你们怎么意识的。首先我这里被撞了，然后我看到他这波狗，我守住这波狗之后，他往这里走了。
Let me tell you what would have happened. When I see that I lose my Marines here, I saw the Lings leave the top. I knew he was playing to surround my push, so I left immediately. And here, at 11 minutes,
然后你看我这里的坦克也没踢走，我能完美防住这波。我只是提了一部分兵。
you can see I left tanks at home. I only brought some of them. Normally, I definitely bring all my tanks. Wait, did I forget them?
我他妈好像是忘了。
I don't know. I don't actually know. Just mysteriously, these 2 tanks stayed at home.
我应该没忘，我也不知道我当时怎么想的，就莫名其妙。
I didn't even
两个
think
坦克在这里，我当时
that I would have
我都没
these
想到我
tanks
有两个坦克在这里。
at 11 minutes for the Hydra counter. Maybe it was really subconscious.
当时
When you get into one of those states of
不
mind,
知道你在打谁了，但就是
you just
下意识地就做这些
subconsciously,
动作了，我不知道
subconsciously
我也不知
do
道
these things. I don't know how to describe it. Maybe I forgot them. I don't know. Let me tell you how this usually goes. You press F2 once, you press tab to the tanks, you press D to unsiege, and you go LMAO.
我也不知道，我也不知道。
No, okay, and you go
我也很奇怪，很迷茫。
LMAO.
所以我
I don't know what
我现在
happened
拿到
here.
冠军
I'm
我
also mystified.
我大家那么的激动和高兴，就是
So,
我现在还感觉我还是
let me tell you,
离老大
even though
哎我
I
不
have
知
the
道
championship,
你知道吧？
I am still in a bit of
很
disbelief,
迷茫。
not knowing how he played the games out.
就这里我就知道我已经
At this point, the game was over, 12:30. But even here, I was pretty clutch. You see these Marines at the bottom and his army here? The normal me would have just taken the tank straight to the net from this top path and pushed.
我上边坦克架好了，他估计都没想到我坦克已经架好了，所以我才能 hold 住这里。
But you see what I do. My tanks are siege, so I can hold this position. And he didn't break. And here you can see, he knows that his only chance back has just passed. I really don't know what I was thinking, but I was really aware in hindsight. This was his final chance back into the game. If he takes his Vipers and breaks my tanks up top, double expands and transitions into lurkers, it's still playable. But it was this one last breath of life. And then here, slightly earlier, 12:15, I saw him trying to surround my bottom army, and then he backed. And here I knew he was coming to flank my top army. And look, I immediately siege. It's perfectly in time for the flank. So he can't break and has to go back, and he is really dejected. Yeah, I've lost so many games this way. Lost so many opportunities. You guys know this saying? Oh god, not again. You guys know this saying? He who has everything fears most. He who has nothing. Here, there was no burden for me. It couldn't possibly go any worse than Atlanta. So I was very chill. Last year, I lost way too much. I remember TSL, because I couldn't go because of visa issues. The only time that I had the chance to get into round of 4-8. Then at Atlanta, I finally got an offline tournament, and I went 0-6. I really lost way too much. At the time, I already felt zen, like nothing mattered. Look at these liberators. So patient, echoing the casters in English.
So patient.
I don't know why I was so patient. This was such a patient game. I don't even remember thinking to kill these rocks. It was pure instinct. I thought suddenly maybe he would flank. So I killed the rocks and put the live here. And he couldn't anymore. Perfect. This kind of looks like an innovation game, yeah? Dude, holy shit. I have no idea how I played like this. Have you seen a game of mine where my net is defended, chat? Even here, 14:30. I was still telling myself, don't rush. We need to expand more. What if he comes out with lurkers and actually breaks? So we should expand and go ghost. And then we absolutely can't lose the game. I have to tell you something from the bottom of my heart, my friends. When you've lost a lot, only then do you learn to have patience. Because you know how many games you've lost. And if you don't slow the game down, you'll still lose. That's an Oliveira original. Not as profound, but you get the idea. Like, you've lost so many times, you can't help but avoid losing again, hopefully. The next of the transcript starts at versus hero. When you've lost a lot, only then do you learn patience. If you don't slow the game down, you'll lose again. Versus hero. Continuing the transcript as best I can. I think I'm gonna pause a moment. I think I've gotten a little better at reading at the correct speed. Is there anything I should change? As we still have Hero and Maru, so though I think he starts skipping through a little more as well. Or is it working out well enough? Except for those of you who actually understand what he's saying, I'm sorry. I apologize, but I'm doing my best. Versus hero. Oliveira versus hero. In his words. Transcribed by, on Reddit, by a enterprising individual, and then read by me as best I can alongside his commentary. So, pretty close, hopefully. Let me tell you, this first game, I really have to thank Coffee and Nice. Wait, Terran and Protoss? Here, I was thinking, play slowly. We already beat Reynor. Just play well. I didn't think anything else. It was just like when Smix interviewed me. I really felt very chill at this point. I just felt like winning and losing weren't important. I just wanted to play well. I talked with Nice. He didn't come, but we called. We were discussing... I guess he wasn't there personally, but he called him up. We were discussing how to play against Little Hero. There was another small thing. We were thinking, between Hero and Dark, who would we rather play? I thought I'd rather play Dark, since I barely practice TVP. If I play Dark, you know, at least I beat Reynor, so it might be a bit better. But Coffee said Dark is too versatile. It's better to play against Hero. And then indeed Hero advanced. And there's another thing. I'm afraid you guys won't even believe me. Oh god. I once dreamed of playing Dark, and then it was the Ace match or something. And I was building Ghosts, and then I got surrounded by lurkers and lost from way ahead. And aside. Yeah, that's definitely a Dark move. And then I thought... And then I thought that as long as I played Hero instead of Dark, there's a chance I actually win the tournament. I'm not messing with you guys. I really had this dream. Some things are just so unusual, you guys. You can't explain this with logic alone. Maybe you guys think I'm just making stuff up, but I told some foreigners in the players' room. But yeah, Coffee told me it'd be better to play versus Hero. And then once Hero actually advanced, we immediately pulled all his VODs and watched them once. All of his recent VODs. We decided that he would 100% play Stargate. I was thinking whether I should play the 2 racks build. But Coffee told me to just play solid and play 3 racks. And play slowly and I can definitely win. Alright, we're a little ahead. Because 310. So, play slowly, definitely win. And indeed, in the first game he played Stargate. Twilight in the production tab. Wait, he opened Twilight? What? I didn't even know. I thought he went Stargate Twilight. Awkwardly scratch his head. What? Then we didn't get this right. What? What the F? I even tricked. What? Was it a Stargate later? I completely forget. Wow, what a complete misread into the correct play. We completely miscalculated.
是我打的比赛吗
What is this?
我难道我当时真的被上身了？
Is these even the game that I played? Was I that out of it? I have no idea. I completely forget.
我也不知道，我忘记了。那也没问题吧，傻逼课高手嘛，是吧？
Looks like there were no problems. I have no idea. But yeah, look at this.
我也很奇怪。
My perfectly safe 3 racks versus his 4-gate blink. If I'd used any other build, then I might have been blinked to death. But instead, my build completely blocked this. And then I went straight across the map with 1 push and killed him. I'm telling you guys, after the first game, I felt like I had it. After the first game, I really felt it. This is commentary as he kind of scrolls really quickly, is the note. Yeah. Oh, boom, 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 win.
我告诉你们，当时第一把打完之后，我就觉得我有了。我当时第一把打完之后，我就觉得我有了。这当时我真的觉得我有了。我当时就，我告诉你们，这第二把其实我有很大的。
I'm telling you, in the second game, I made so many mistakes. I should have had another slow and steady win, but I got the perfect build order counter and I lost. Look at my expression here. What was I thinking? I was thinking that I could definitely win. I could tell you after the first 2 games that he was playing so rushed. I've never seen him play so rushed. Have you ever seen anybody play Stargate until 5-gate blink? He obviously just really wanted to kill me. So I thought I would play game 3 out slowly. As long as I played steadily, I would win. And look at my play in game 3. I opened Reaper and scouted around and just perfectly ran into his proxy gate. It was just fate. I really thought he planned that. Doesn't it look like map hacks? Look at the first thing I do. I scout across. And many Terrans, let me tell you, when they see the late Nexus, they'll think, oh, it's Hero. It's a proxy Stargate expand. Because Hero has been playing a lot of Stargate. If I scouted for that, I would have scouted the bottom. That's where the Stargates go. I don't know what I was thinking. I felt like it would be a proxy gate. So I went up and immediately found it. It was such a miracle. You guys don't know how much practice I had against that 2-gate. With 1 proxy and 1 at home. For the longest time, I thought that 2-gate was unplayable for me. I always end up behind. Actually, I don't know if you guys know Deer, who's a high-level Korean pro tour. But it was the 2 of us who practiced the 2-gate defense for 4 to 5 hours at a time to nail the defense, the Reaper expand versus 2-gate. Absolutely drilled it to death. It's the saying, 10 years to master a skill. It's just like that sometimes. A small detail or a macro detail or something will really take a year or even years to fully fix. You have to understand, at the time, I had no teammates to talk to. I just had a few Koreans. And even we had the language barrier. It wasn't like I had a lot of Chinese players to chat with about the details of this defense. There were really just too few. You know, sometimes, like, I've played maybe 700 games in the month leading up to Katowice. Think about how many hours that is. Probably thousands. I don't think that math checks out, but I get it. I get the idea. It's just for those 10 minutes on stage. And it feels, well, overall, thousands of hours, but 700 games, not thousands. It feels to you that even just those 10 minutes on stage, you're willing to trade those thousands of hours of practice, and it's worth it. Alright, let me tell you, the details of this defense. As soon as you scout it, pull 3 to 4 workers, it's okay, economically. And then, the key is you can't go straight reactor on the racks. You need to build a second marine before you can safely go reactor. That's because here, 3 minutes, you don't have enough DPS. If he went Stalker behind this, then he can just run by the bunker and pressure the depot, so I can't hold. So you absolutely need 2 Marines to shoot the Stalker. As you can see now, this Adept can't really get in. It loses all its shields to get in. Look at this. If I only had 1 Marine, then the third adept wouldn't lose this much
我
HP.
看那个使徒啊，如果我这里是一个枪
And
的话，
I'd have a
他
hard
第三个使徒
defense.
掉不了这么多血，我这里很难
But
受。
with
但是你
my
看
two Marines, the adept shields are
看
broken,
他背过两个
and he
枪兵
loses
正好
HP.
盾掉光，
And now he can't really leave. So I just use my Reaper to slowly kite
所
the
以他后
adepts.
边你看他这里
And here he's actually under more pressure than
然后
me.
我这里就想着我死神去甩
And
慢慢
then for the
甩到
follow-up, it's
他反而
important.
这里比我打的紧张。
It's important. You can't play Widowmine drop. It's not consistent, since he
而
can
且
follow
后
up
我
with
告诉你们后边
DTs
呢，你们要看这个
or
后续的
Stargate.
人物
The most consistent follow-up is to go into 2 or
接
3
头类是不
racks.
稳的，万一他后边接什么引刀一波或者 VS 一波，可能会守不住。最稳的开局就是2命营接3命，就是导弹车之后接。
So now, after the early game, I'm clearly ahead.
我现在运营
And instead, it's Hero who's playing sneakily. Look, his Nat has no gas with no worker production at the third.
反正你们看 Hero 这里打得很急，你看。
And here I remember dropping a scan, so I knew he'd cut gas. Oh, well, see, wow, holy cow, this Marine. I don't even remember sending out this Marine. Look at how I sent it out, but watch the mini-map. I sent 2 Marines out. If I send only 1, I might not have even have managed to get the scout. But I think I thought that if one Marine doesn't get it, at least the other will. I got very important scouting info.
出去之后，
He has a third, but it's low on workers, and he has no gases at the
这
net.
里你们看
So I
我这里
immediately
上面
went home and steadied up.
一个枪兵，2个枪兵，我当时都不知道怎么自己脑子想到。
And see, the
如果我分
prism
一个枪兵
comes
出
in,
去啊
but the
我可能是打不
cyclone.
到但是我分了2个枪兵，我觉得如果我这里出不去的话，我这个枪兵能绕到。然后你们看我这个枪兵侦察到了很关键的信息，首先它有3矿，但是农民不多，绕到2矿没有开气。
He's
我
going
知道
over
他
the
一波
Marine
来了
somewhere.
所以我赶紧回家，没有出门，在这里守着。然后我知道棱镜
The prism comes in, but the cyclone, its positioning was perfect. I don't even know what I was thinking, but it was perfect. At the front, his attack fails, since my tank shoo him away. 3 racks is perfect. Some things here are just muscle memory, just pure practice. And look here, it was correct for me not to immediately pull SCVs, since I might not break. Since he's not getting Templar yet, but instead going all-out army. If I pulled and he just stayed with his battery, then I might even have lost. But thankfully I didn't immediately pull SCVs. I still think that was correct. Then I saw he didn't have AoE, pulled SCVs, and hit right as he was teching in the storm.
他是全力在爆兵的，如果他这里后边靠着那波，他靠着那波电池守，我可能就会输了。幸好我告诉你们，我幸好这波没有拖农民，我觉得我没拖农民是绝对是对的。然后我是后续我看到他没有 AoE， 我才拖的，正好打到他去跳闪电。
It was Hero was scrambling in this game. This is my commentary.
正好他跳闪电存了波钱，看到了吗？他跳闪电存
There
了
weren't
波
many
钱，然后
timestamps on this one. I'm sorry.
真的是完美打到这个 timing 了。啊，这把就赢了。
This was the perfect timing. We win this one. Next game. Wow. And for this game,
其实就没什么好说的了。
there's not a lot to say, just good scouting.
就是还是我们按就是赛前那个。
We were still following our pre-series planning, which was if he opens Stargate, to just play slowly and steadily. If you just play slowly against Hero, you'll be fine.
3兵营，导弹车3兵营碰到他。
This game, I played 3 racks against his build. Here he actually missplits his army.
我这里就知道，我把这个电池打掉之后，我就知道我有了。
He missplits his army. He actually even saw me, but when I sniped the battery, I knew I had it. Here, there's a small detail. Look here, he has 3 sentries and a Colossus, but he mismicroed so badly. My 2 mines kill 3 of his sentries. Full energy too, without force field. At this time, you guys didn't know. My 2 mines hit his 3 sentries. It was off screen. I felt like he was just frozen. I'm telling you, that day, when I was playing these top tier players, as soon as I took a map, their mentality changed so quickly. And the rest of this is just over. I win. Let me tell you one detail. At this point, when I was playing Game 4, I could already tell that I had turned the Europeans into a home court advantage. Maybe you don't believe it, but at the time after Game 3, after Game 1, they were supporting Hero, since even though we're wearing noise-canceling headphones, we can hear the cheers. And I could tell Hero's cheers were louder than mine. But after game 3, it was like it was a Chinese crowd. Aw. That's an interesting note as well. Is they can hear how loud the cheers are. All right. Next is versus Maru and well last. And here. Let me tell you guys, it was 100% home crowd. In the first game, honestly, I considered this opening, but I didn't consider he would take this position. Let me see. How did I position here? You can see that I got the timing correct, but I didn't really think he would bring the tank this way. I thought that maybe he would bring the Reapers and siege the front, but wow, he really played this well. One push, and I was dead. My mentality was still good. See, I didn't really have any reaction, since I felt like it was whatever in the finals. If you take a game from me, you take a game. And look here, if I were tilted, I would have played this out. But I thought, it's okay. Let's just leave it and move on. Let's not affect our mentality with this game anymore. Actually, I did want to play this out, but I knew it would affect my stamina, and I might not even win. So it'd be better to just leave and think about how to play the next game. And look at this applause here and compare to what I win. He's won him over at this point. And now, in this second game, I greeted, which is a loose translation apparently. I was so greedy. It's a bit heretical to say, but it felt like a higher power was watching over me. The normal way is that Maru plays proxy Reapers. He didn't do a single one of those. Let me tell you, with his first worker, he will always look up the ramp to check whether I'm going fast reactor or fast CC. This way you can just push him with the first Reaper directly. And my reactor first never holds this. You have to know, this is unholdable. This game, the only reason I could hold was because he waited for 2 Reapers, and I played Reactor first. This is the completely perfect counter, because my follow-up with Reapers and Medevac, he can never hold. I feel like there was some sort of fate on my side. Look, here, he has 2 Reapers, and I have 2 Reapers with 2 more and a Hellion in production. A complete hold. And I kept even my Nat. This is really the perfect opening. And here, Maru flies barracks. Let me tell you my thought process. I've watched so many of Maru's replays and VODs, and I notice when people hold his proxy rags that they panic and don't know what to do. I've lost so many games this way, where I immediately go across with my Reaper Hellion. He holds perfectly, and then I have nothing but an economic deficit. So I told myself I have to play patiently and wait for the medevac drop and hit that timing instead. The only follow-up that he can have is Cyclone and a Banshee, or double clone drop. But here, if I go tank drop, there's no way to hold. And look, he happens to be dropping, so he can't hold the front. And even here, he makes a mistake. He probably could have held. I've never seen Maru make this mistake before, which is that he sieged in range of my tank. I was actually pretty screwed, since I can't hold it home without taking a lot of damage. Maru never makes this kind of mistake. I don't know how he could have made it today. Here, I have no idea how I controlled, but I didn't lose a single Marine to the Cyclones. It's so miraculous. I have 4 Marines and not a single one died. You know, I wasn't a believer in fate, but now I'm a believer. When have you ever seen Maru, with 2 Cyclones, in full vision, fail to kill a solitary medevac? A 10 HP medevac. He didn't even manage to kill it. Which means he can't pounce with his Banshees since my Marines are alive.
这样我枪兵就保存下来了，他没法。
And then he panicked and gets his cyclone sniped.
就被我点了。
See, look at this. This is my home court advantage.
这你知道吗？我就打成我的主场了。
From here onwards, every map I took, the applause got louder, and I knew this was my series. After this map, I could tell he wasn't playing well anymore.
也有场外因素吧。然后这一把我打完之后，我就感觉他后边就变形了。啊，我再给你们说一件离谱的事情啊，我不知道。
Let me tell you guys. In game 3, I bet that he wouldn't proxy Rex again, so I played a fast expand. I won the bet. I had an even faster expo than he did. And let me tell you, this game I bet that he wouldn't proxy, since if he proxied, then I was dead, since I went fast expand. But I bet on going Rax Gas Expand, which is even greedier than his Gas Rax Expand. Like, his Gas First Expand is still less greedy than my build. But I won the bet. And look, I even scared him here. He thought I went Proxy Rax. Wow. My note. Reading that far into the SCV scout. Wow. He freaked out and went for a high ground CC. Man, this sort of thing, you sometimes just can't believe it. You just have to believe in fate. I've never had such a successful build order gambit before. But I won. Even here, it's so dreamy. I have no idea. I had no idea that I'd be able to convert the Europeans to cheer for me.
你们看我杀到这个死神的时候，你们听底下。太梦幻。
Honestly, I have no idea how I defended this drop so well.
打成我们的主场。
Never in my life have I had such good defense.
而且说实话，我这里也不能理解，你们看我这波的防守啊，我这辈子没防这么好过，我一个农民没死。
I didn't lose a single SCV.
我看一下。
Maybe one or two. I just lost a single SCV, bro. Just one. And it was even a Mind Drag SCV. Just one. Jeez. Unbelievable. Dude, let me tell you guys how my Cyclone went out. So it was initially in my main, but I thought, after the Mind Drop, that he couldn't come back. So I brought it to my third. His Raven really went for my net, and I thought the chance had arrived with my Cyclone. See here at 607.
你们看啊，我这里我导弹车其实是停在我主矿的，但我想说，他这个时候导弹车应该不会来了。然后我就再往3矿走，结果他的渡鸦真的往我2矿丢炮台了。 我想就是我有机会了，我这个导弹车一定要去抓他那个渡鸦。
This is a very specific micro thing he's about to do.
我这里特地留了一把雷达啊，你们应该看到这个细节。
See here, Cyclone at the tower. I don't lock on at the first opportunity because I knew if I locked on, I wouldn't get it. Here, I fake leaving, and then I thought that if I doubled back, I would get it for sure.
我走了之后，我去上面我这样锁。
And I saved the scan for this just in case, and indeed, I got it.
我怕我锁不掉，我留了一把雷达。
The key is I didn't lock on immediately, otherwise he would have escaped. It's really just muscle memory. I don't really know what I was thinking, but I thought the right thing. I'm telling y'all. And now, at 7-Eleven. Look at my first-person view. I knew that he'd left with 2 medevacs. So I immediately thought to set up a concave and go. And then here, I waited for a bit, which I think is correct, since I was waiting for combat shield, and since my 1-1 was also done, or finishing. So I break. I think I played this correctly, since he probably holds if I go before combat shield, since he has the tank advantage, and he forced a lift on my third. And here,
坦克没有急，你们看到我正面了吗？我在慢慢
I just played to clean up slowly at
我当
home.
时告诉我自己的是什么？
I also went for a slow tank push at the front, and just now, getting the barracks. At the time, I was telling myself, you absolutely can't hurry. You've lost games from this position so many times. Don't rush. Just slowly push your tanks. He doesn't have combat shield. Any bust from him is a good trade for you. Just play slowly. You've thrown this game so many times. This game state. Actually here, I think I could have busted, but I also played the safest option, which was the winning option. At 850 is another detail where I retreat. Here I dropped the scan. Ah, you can see it on the minimap. I didn't see his 2 medevacs, so I knew he had him on a drop, so I decided to retreat. But then I decided I couldn't relinquish all my pressure, so I left the tanks at the front and sent the rest of the army home, which was perfect for his double medevac drop. If I brought my entire army home, then I lose all the pressure, which is not great. The army split from me was perfect. The rest, it's just a simple win. And here I'm fist pumping, since I felt the home court advantage, to give the fans something to cheer for.
调动一下观众的情绪，我就感觉他越打越崩，你知道吗？马入，我感觉打到后面，精气神都给他打没了。然后我再跟你们说啊，
This game 4,
可能你们也不信，觉得我有点马后炮。
I also predicted it. You guys might not believe me and think that I'm embellishing, but I predicted the tank drop. The exact build he used in game 1. So I used the exact counter build. 3 Reaper, 1 Hellion, straight into Cyclone. Normally, I go Raven after Cyclone, but I made a small adjustment here by going tank first, especially to defend his drop. It's because in practice and on ladder, whenever I met him, this build would always kill me. I almost pulled all my hair out trying to find a counter, but couldn't figure anything out. But I finally solved it in this game. Because this game, I gave him a bit of counter pressure, and his drop went straight into my Cyclone. First, look at this small detail. First, I left the Hellion at the front to scout for the push. And I left my 3 Reapers at the top to go in once my Hellion sees it. If he had found the Reapers and killed them, he can push out in peace. See here? I even catch the Reapers unexpectedly. My Hellion also intercepts his Reaper. And here he makes some mistakes. Dudes, tell me, when has Maru ever made this sort of mistake? Medevac over Cyclone. When has Maru ever made a mistake like this? It's a multitasking error, but when has Maru ever had an error like this? And here, remember the detail I told you? I went Cyclone, then tank, before Raven. I really called all his moves, because if I'd gone Raven before tank, then I would be down a tank and defending his drop would be hard. But because I went straight into the tank, my tank was out in time for the drop, and it went perfectly. Apparently now we spend some time thanking donators, of which there are very, very many. Seriously, I just really don't know. It's still that line. I still feel like I'm in a dream and haven't woken up. It's so dreamlike. There's no logic in it. Let me tell you why it doesn't feel real. Before Byun won GSL, he was doing so well in all sorts of smaller competitions, gotten a few round of 4s. Think about my last tournaments. 0-6 in Atlanta, not a single map. In the next tournament, I got such hard opponents. I really admire Maru and the other opponents, since they've been playing even longer than me. I really haven't experienced that much hardship compared to them. I've only played 8 years. I have food on the table, and clothes to wear. My family's financial situation is fine. I have a potential job and career lined up after competing. The sort of world championship that most would compete in a lifetime without seeing was won by me. Wow. It's really been such a smooth trip. I didn't even dare to dream of winning a championship. Not even daydreaming. If I'd even only daydreamed of a round of 4, I would have been happy. I'm trying to say that I didn't have that much pressure. For somebody like me to have won, to win this tournament, not even GSL, ESL can compete with a world championship, and I won it. 1 sec. Hit self. Have we gotten to that point yet? I think he's checking if he's dreaming again. I was a little ahead. It's very hard to be on pace with the mono. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's a good timestamp. 1 sec. It hurts a lot. Should be real. And here, I played this well. I didn't drop auto turrets. If I lost this energy, then I may still have been broken. If I... At this point, I'd really warmed up. Look, I was even cheering with the audience. It was a completely home court situation. Now, even this game, I made the right call. You guys believe me? Look at the build orders. I went Marine, Reaper, Expand, and a tank to meet the tank drop. Another perfect counter build. This you guys can understand, right? I don't even know what I was thinking. It was pure instinct. I'm sure he was even in disbelief. See here, 414. You can see he's trying to siege here. What does he see? My tank is ready. Guys, look. I'm sure he was even dazed. He was initially planning to siege here, but I was already sieged up. And then he wanted to drop my main, but my Viking was out. This is really the perfect counter. The perfect defense of my lifetime. Defending Maru's aggression. It was like I was playing with map hacks. You guys can gossip about this. Let me tell you guys, it was a little hurried from me at 5:30. I think he talks about the gossiping about map hacks for a bit.
Let
me tell you guys, it's a little hurried. I dropped a scan. I decided if he went Raven and Viking, then I wouldn't push. But if he went Raven and the 3 racks, I would. I scanned, I saw the 3 racks, so I pushed. I think it's the correct push to apply pressure. But I didn't do it correctly. I think I can win this fight. Here, I should have matrixed the 2 tanks and dropped a turret. That's the best use of energy here. But I had some micro mistakes. I should have just gone double matrix and double turret. 20 seconds later with more energy. Sieged 5 of my tanks and stim. Oh. I don't have stim.
但是
I
你
should
们知道
I
吗
should still win though, but I really misplayed.
我打到这里的
If I just
我打到
interference
这里
matrix
局
the
面的情况
tanks,
下
then I
我
would
为
have
什么
won.
吗
I really misplayed.
我让一个马入
Now, normally when I get here,
这么强的职业选手
I would have felt
那么
lost.
强，他的 TVD 那么强，打到这种局面，
Normally I'd think that if I gave Maru,
我
somebody with such good TVT, such a large advantage, game is over.
我他妈还是能赢。
But that day, I felt like I could still win. I could still win.
盾牌
As long as I macro
把
well,
直攻抢回来
the
反而是
game
马入没有跟我
is
抢
over.
反而这把我
But that
抢
day, I felt like I could still
你
win.
们
I
看我
can
这里这
still
个
win.
防守
I repeated
跟他
that.
妈完美一样
As-。
两个
Don't
坦克
forget my
一个地方
upgrades and combat
枪兵
shield.
这
I
边的
can
枪
still
兵
win.
枪兵不会，如果
And
着急这边枪兵
contest
走过
air
这边
superiority.
枪兵没走过来
I want
有
air
个两个人
superiority
一
here,
来
not
打
Maru.
然后感觉自己坦克
Look
要
at this
掉
defense.
过来
825.
修坦克
My Marines
基本
were
坦克没
perfectly
掉
positioned. My bunker and the
我的
two
天啊兄弟
tanks.
们这他妈是
My SCVs repair the tanks. No tanks lost. Pure muscle memory. And look, just because I was playing carefully,
然后这
I
里还
actually
不知道
catch up on the
你打把
upgrades
然后
here,
他还被我枪兵
which
给
I
爆了
was actually behind on.
肌肉记忆吧，可能真的。
And
然后
here,
你们看我这把我想我
935.
慢慢打，后面的攻防什么全追回来了。本身我是落后。
I made an incredible decision, one that I probably won't match in this lifetime.
我告诉你们，
I
这是
didn't
我
pull
做
the
做了一
Marines
个
on the
最
map
牛
back.
逼的决定。
If I pulled back,
我告诉你们，我
I
做了一
think
个
I
最
get
牛逼的
broken
决
here
定。
by this push
我
and
这
just
辈
lose.
子可能都不会再
But I
做这个
didn't pull
决定。
back. I went straight for the
我
third,
这波兵没回来。
and I held
我
it
这波
home.
兵是有波枪兵
My
的，我
Marines
如果
even
回来
forced a
可能我直接
lift
被他
at his
打死
third.
了。但是我这波没回来，我这波没回来，直接去他三矿了。
Look
然
at
后这里
this.
我守住了，
Do you believe it?
然后我把他
I
三
don't.
打飞了。
I don't know where I found that sort of confidence. This is if this is my normal self playing,
你们敢
I
信吗
definitely would have come
我都
home,
不知道我当时怎么打
gotten killed by the 4 tanks, and then out macroed. But I made the correct call and played the counterattack, and even killed some lurkers. Guys, do you believe in fate? I didn't before, but I believe a bit now. Do you guys remember what I said before? I think it's a point further on. Do you guys remember what I said before in 2020 or 2021? In the Gold Team League? During the award ceremony? I said I was very envious of Reynor. Is that his PC or mine? Since he was the protagonist in children's stories. He had the protagonist story, the youngest world champion, having the main character role in stories. But I said that even if I'm not the main character, I will still live out my own life the best I can. But who knew this was the storyline for me? I got that 0.37% chance of getting this role. Too miraculous. I think that was his chances of winning before the tournament, according to Oliveira, was 0.37%. Too miraculous, all of this. Here, I played a little hurriedly. I could have slowed down a bit. But I broke Maru. Look at this fight. 11:57. Maru's up supply after the fight, but what does he do? He goes home. Guys, he retreated after winning a fight. Instead, it's me who remembered my 3-3. Look, Maru even forgot his 3-3, even though he won the fight. And suddenly I'm ahead on upgrades. I had no macro mistakes.
然后我的攻防莫名其妙领先了，我运营一点失误都没有。
And guys, this fight, 13 minutes.
然后兄弟们就说这波了。
This fight, I was also courageous.
我知道他过来了，我想着我这波兵不能过来，我这波兵不能他妈过来。
I saw his army and thought to myself that my army here, out on the map, can't retreat. Retreating is just donating this army. I have to block his 5th base, and it worked out perfectly. And breaking this push, I have no idea what I was thinking. Normally, I would have immediately unsieged, pulled SCVs, and tried to break the position. outside of the fourth at 1320. But instead, I made the correct call to marine drop his tanks into Vikings. His Vikings were just slightly too slow, and so I broke. And I got his 5th. I was just so brave. I have no idea where I got the courage. And also, think about what I would normally do from here, guys. I would see the air superiority, go hard into 8 racks, and push hard and give Maru the comeback. All I can say is that day I painfully remembered all the throws from before. And I told myself, I have to play calmly. I'm not scared of his late game. I can beat his late game. Just play slowly. I went 3 starport instead of barracks. Slowly take my 5th base and fight for air superiority. Instead, it was just Maru who failed to contest it. Like, guys, cover up the names for a sec. Isn't this red player just the normal me? Look at this hard stim up the ramp. It's 1615. Failing, going home and adding starports for more ravens. Hard stimming everywhere until you lose everything. Isn't this me? It's just like the roles are flipped. If you guys watch my tournaments regularly, then you should feel this. Isn't this totally how I play? Getting such a big advantage, but not converting. Overextending till you lose the lead. Going mass Raven Viking until suddenly in one big fight you lose to Maru. Here at 1730, I just had so much courage. I had no way of knowing I was ahead on Vikings, and I even had the anti-armor missile. You have no idea what I was thinking. Here, let me explain. Here I went. Fuck this, man. I'm taking this fight. If I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. And somehow I won. You have to understand this, my mentality. I just kept fighting. And here, I need to ask you guys a question. Have you ever seen me play Tank Viking Liberator this well? Look at my tank distance. Barely in range. And then my Liberators are so the Marines can't hit him. And then the Liberators inch forward. He pulls back. I move the tanks forward to protect the Liberators and the Vikings. And then when there's only one tank, I move in. Man, this was completely perfect. And here, when I went for the attack, 1820, which is also correct, since he decides to go up and that's into my tank fire. And he actually got zoned by my tanks. He panicked. And also here, my best decision this game, let me tell you. I'm down on Ravens, which could give him room to come back. Normally here, I would just pull everything and go straight into his tank line. But I made the correct decision to go south into his outside base. And here I saw his army coming from behind. I was thinking how to dislodge his army. I realized I have to drop the main. Since he has to defend the main, this lets my tanks get out, and that is his mistake. If I lose these tanks, this is still a comeback from him. And then once I get the tanks out, my double drop leaves. This is another perfect play. This is the strategy from Sun Tzu's Art of War. Counterattack to defend, is what he's quoting. Best defense is a good offense, I think, is the colloquial translation. Look at this, guys. We can learn together. What would happen if I didn't drop? My Marines stay behind. He comes in, matrixes all of them, and I'm dead. I'm definitely dead. But look, my drop comes right when he spent energy.
然后
And
我这波
suddenly
做了
both
一个对决
defending is
他
wrong
能
and
量交
pouncing
了
on my tanks is
他
wrong.
这波坦克不炸油不合适
At the
但
end,
他
he
回去
lost
他
on
不
both
守又
sides.
不合适
And look here,
结果他两边
I actually
啥都
scanned
没
top
得
left.
鱼和熊掌都没了，还被我把下面所有矿都抬了。
And I actually scanned
然后
top
我这边还
left
做了一个细节，
because I
你
was
看到吗？
thinking,
我去撒到这边
this
的
is
矿，
Maru.
因为我说
He should
这
have
是马
expansions
路啊
everywhere.
他
Where
应该
are
在
his
那边全是
bases?
矿他他妈左
When
上
I
没矿
saw it was
我就
empty,
想我这把有了。
I felt like I had this game. And here at 2030, I also played really
然
smart.
后我跟你们说，这
Look
波
at
我也
these
很屌
tanks. Look at this
你们
siege.
看我
Isn't
这
this
个坦
even
克
me?
架的
Me and
兄弟们
TVT
这
with
他妈
siege
是
tanks
我
at home?
我打 TVT 我还在架防守坦克，你看
Look
这
at
个
these
坦克架的，
siege line. These 4
我就
tanks.
知道他有可能来换
I
我
knew
家
he'd
了。
probably try to stim straight into my main down the middle.
什么？孙一峰给我打电话干嘛？
Takes a call from F91.
喂，
Wait,
兄弟
what?
来吧，来吧，来。
What?
你听到我说话吗？
I don't know who that is, but he's
听到。
actually taking a
哦
call. Man, tell him to wait a bit. I'm still bragging. Let me
去吧，往
brag a
外。
bit more. Is
让我
what he
继续
says
吹。
to whoever that is.
让他等一会儿，让小孙等一会儿，着什么急啊？让他等一会儿，让他等一会儿，叫让
Yeah,
小孙
this
等
is
一
a
会儿。
great tank
我再给你们
line.
吹啊！我这波
What
坦
do
克
I
架
do
的他妈
next?
太好了。然后首先我这波没
Normally,
有
I
上，
would
你
have
们
just
看
stimmed
我
down the ramp.
如果按我平常我会怎么样？这波坦克，这波下面这波兵，直接就上。
And I may have
上完
really
之
have
后
lost everything, given up the
我可能
comeback
就被
because he
翻
has
了。
so many
我真
tanks
的可
and
能
with
就被翻
plus
了。
3.
因为我这波他坦克太多了，他还有
So I
3
made
波
the
我
right
就被翻了
decision just to
我做了
ignore
一个
my
最
own
牛逼的决定，
tanks
我没有管
and instead just
我
cover
去
the
上面
entrance
护
to
住
my
我二方
natural.
的口，
So I saved
然后
my
让他这波
production.
兵没有办法往里边抹。
But here,
然
I'm
后我就
still a
守
bit
住这个路口，
nervous until
让
I
他坦克
suddenly
没有办
remember
法
I
往
still have
前架，
tanks
这
in
样
the
我就
back.
护住我
And
的
suddenly
兵
Maru
然后这个
panicked.
时候我其实挺慌的，我怕被翻。然后我
I've
忽然
never
想到
seen
一个
him
东
so
西，我后面
panicked.
还有坦克没拿。然后我拖了坦克。
And here, let me show you the final good play I make. Look
然后
here,
结果马入急了，
22-20.
马入好急，我从来没有见过马入好急。
I can't see his army anymore.
然后就
So I
给你
know
们
he's
看后
gone
面的神
south.
之一手吧，兄弟们，
I can't go defend, so it'd be a bad trade for me. So I went straight for the counterattack.
完美的大局观，
This is perfect.
完美的大局观。
Actually,
我在这里我就知道我找不到他兵了。我首先我这里
Actually, your
我找不到他兵
commentators may have
我就
missed
知道
this.
他推我下面去，那我能干嘛？我回去守，我肯定亏。那我就跟他打翻，我就跟他打翻，我就跟他打
I
反
sent out 2 liberators to Maru's outside bases here.
哇，这波真的完美。
You can see the workers' loss count going
这
up.
里其实你
So
们
that's
解
what
说
was happening.
解说可能
Maru
这
didn't
个没看
react
到
at all.
我这里是
I've
打了
never
一个
seen him
3
not
线
have any
的，
reaction like this
我分
before.
了2个解放者去架他矿，他农民被我没了。你
I
们
was
看到，你们
wondering
看到，
during
你
the
看到这
game.
里农民已经开始死了，看到了吗？
I got
我
all
把
the
他
workers
打
at
乱了，我
both
从来没见过
bases.
马如没反应，他一点反应都没有。
I
两边
cleared up
炮
all of
农民
his
被我架
tanks
光
with
了。
liberators. So I
然后
cleared
正
this
面
in
坦
2
克还被我
bases
架
of
光了，
workers.
他相当于这波直接全没了。我这里一个解放者把他整边矿都架光了 ，OB 没切到。
And
下面
then
有一个解放者也架
there
光了，
was the
两边
last
矿没了。
pounce. Too miraculous. The commentary's gone from I don't know what's happening to I was pretty much a god that day. Through the course of the day and the series.
太奇妙了，兄弟们，太奇妙了。
I never, well,
我这辈子没想到能看到金色
I
的
never
雨
thought in this life I would see that
我当时
golden
都跪
rain,
下了，
which is
我
an
当时
odd
因为腿是
translation
软的，你们懂吗？
for the confetti.
我当
I
时
even
腿是
kneeled.
软的
I，couldn't stand up. I had no strength in my legs.
真的真的。
I never
这辈子
thought in
没
this
想到能在舞
lifetime
台上看到金色的雨，而且说实话，我是感觉
I
这
would
次
see it on the big stage. And honestly, I feel like this time, do you remember? Let me show you guys 2 other handshakes. Let me look for this.
我感觉我这次好像真的释然了。
Do you remember last time I won versus Maru? Look at what I went to do. Let me see.
你们还记得我上次赢马入吗？
Maru was fine, but look at what I went to do.
我找一下。
按今年的 WCS 的。
你们看我不是，你们马入还好，但是你们看我当时是干嘛的？你们看啊，虽然是同样是握手，我当时赢了。
I won. I went over hurriedly and pat him on the shoulder, like, bro, why are you ignoring me?
但你们看我这次干嘛？
But look at me this time.
我没有很着急的走过去，我就慢慢走过去，我就觉得太突然了。然后这马入也是双手握。
I went over slowly and composed, and Maru gave me a two-handed handshake. And according to a Reddit thread, this is a sign of respect in East Asia.
我从来没有见过马入双手握。
Apparently, he thinks that Maru was very cognizant and appreciative this time. I've never seen him do a two-handed handshake.
当时真的不敢信啊，世界冠军呢。
I really couldn't believe at the time. Not at all. World Championship guys.
我觉得很明显的一点就是我没有特别在急着去获得。
I wasn't even in a rush to get recognition. Honestly, at the moment, I kind of wanted recognition, but mostly I just thought that nothing else was important. I just felt so indifferent all of a sudden.
用那两个字说，就真的很淡然了。
That so few things were actually important, you know? Maybe because I finally won. You know, the rest we don't need to watch. I'm just streaming to hear. I have so many other interviews and I have to go to Shanghai, but I'll say a few more.
后面不看了啊，兄弟们，我今天就先直播到这里了吧，好吧？我后面可能先不来了。
I'll say a few more words, since there were so many people who showed up. 10,000 viewers, I assume. Really grateful. This really wasn't just my dream. It was all our dreams. I want to leave you with one more anecdote.
然后还是跟大家说一下啊，可能今天人真的有点多，我没想到有贵宾1万这么多了，还有这么多这种
My grandma.
真的感谢大家。我觉得
My grandma is already 80, but when she saw that I won, she cried.
而且我再给你们说一个小插曲。
She was watching on her iPad in the living room. Oh, that checks
我的
out.
奶奶
Watching my games. When I heard
然后在
this,
得知我
I felt like I did a very right
这个事情
thing.
之后哭了。
I never thought that I'd be able to use an
就是我奶
esport
奶
to
会
an
看我的，她
affect an 80-year-old
80
lady.
坐在客厅看我的。
My dad instead didn't even cry.
你们知道吗？
He told me that as soon as I beat Reynor, he thought I had it.
我觉得我
But I didn't expect my grandma to cry.
就我这个
An 80-year-old lady
我觉得
crying at a 20-year-old boy playing an online game crying.
就我真的
I guess she
没想
felt
到
like I'd made it.
80多岁的老人用一个电竞
And
项目
thanks to you all as well. It was really our dream. So unreal. I probably won't stream for a few days.
我爸说他跟我
But still, to
说，我打
emphasize,
完雷诺之后他就觉得我有了，
I won't use my championship status for
但
benefit.
是我完全没有想到我
Using my champion status for sponsorships and everything, I definitely
去看
won't.
一个
Because I remember at my toughest and lowest
年轻人
times
项目然后
how I made it
哭
through.
了，我觉得我奶奶
But even if there are sponsorship payments, I will give them back to the public, such as today's donations and all of the IEM purchases you guys made. I will donate them all to public benefit. I won't earn a single penny from all this, besides my own prize money. I think that my today is thanks to you all as well, so I won't take a penny of your money for myself. This I believe with complete certainty, and I worked so hard this time, and that fate smiled upon me so well. I should use it to do some good. Too much money is not a good thing. And I have plenty for the time being. I also want to buy a Ferrari and things. But not now. I'm going to go do some good things for now. Last year, my goal was to reach a finals. But who knew it would be to win a world championship? Thanks again, y'all.
钱全部投放到公益项目里面，这个是肯定的，好吧？这个是肯定的，我不会赚1分钱，这个让大家放心。我唯一拿的钱就是我自己的奖金，因为我觉得我能有今天这步，自己有一部分关系，跟大家也有一部分关系吧，所以我不会去挣一些我不该拿到的钱，这我是觉得肯定的。我觉得还是我觉得我这次挺惜命的，我觉得老天爷让我这么顺，我应该去多做一些好事，我应该去多做一些好事，我不应该钱太多也不是什么好事，我现在钱够花了，我不用。我也想买什么法拉利啊，什么这些的，但我觉得不是现在我最想要的。我会去多做一些好事，然后让大家满意的，好吧？反正大家今天就先这样了，好吧？然后我也做到了我之前在 去年承认一句话，我说这次 PG
It
赛决
is
赛，
on
但是没
Reddit
想到拿到冠军的
Yubo56 alongside some
好吧，
commenters
今
who
天就
helped
这样
with
十分
context
感谢大
and
家。
more
然后
translations.
谢谢今天大
The
家的礼物，别
timestamps
送
were
了，别
very
送了，
helpful.
别送了，我
I
真
did
的
my
非常
best
感
to
谢大
try
家，
to
好
keep
吧？
up with the
我
games.
今天就先这样了。
And I
我
think,
然后我
well,
哥们儿
one,
今天撤了，我去顺
congratulations to
哥 YY 看
Oliveira.
我 YY 了，好吧？大家就先这样了，拜拜拜拜，十分感谢大家。再给大家
I
看一
hope
眼
for
好
those
吧
watching this,
蓝色的袋子啊，很贵的东西，蓝色的袋子，大家拜拜拜拜。
there you go. I hope for those watching that helps explain. One, how we won. Two, just what a story. Does he show the trophy? He had his medal. So congratulations, Oliveira. I hope that was worth watching. And I thought it was really interesting, though. I found it a lot better to connect, like, by actually watching him say it, even if you don't speak it. So hopefully it wasn't too bad for those who understood what he was saying. And for those who didn't, hopefully this provided some context. And, I mean, come on with that. Come on. It is like an anime. Well, the entire time he's talking about, like, who says, I saw in a dream I lost to Dark, so I wanted to play Hero. Like, it's an anime. Come on. Well, whatever it was, it worked out. So, congratulations again.